You are worried about getting fired from a job for a business that you haven't even built yet. Sit back, relax. I'm about to go through how you can promote this business without losing your job. All right, so first off, starting out, and this is just me and my common sense here. Let's go to the basics. Let's go to protecting ourselves. And let's look into whatever contracts we may have signed when we first started with this employer. There may have been agreements that you signed, contracts, NDAs, whatever the case may be. Take a minute and dig that stuff up to really look into what you can and cannot do. Now, if I were you, I would consult with a legal aid, maybe a paralegal, LegalZoom, Rocket Lawyer, somebody to really help break down the verbiage in that agreement. I also want to point out that there are multiple states where those employment agreements and contracts are null and void. So find that out, because you really want to make sure you're protecting yourself, especially if there is a conflict of interest with the job you are currently working at and the business you are trying to build. Because if there is a conflict of interest, baby, protecting yourself needs to be very high on the list. And if you're not sure of what I mean about conflict of interest, I mean, if what you do at your corporate job is the same thing you are trying to start a business with, then baby, there's a conflict of interest. So let's look into the contracts and the agreements that we may have already signed and agreed upon, so that we're not going against the grain. And when we build this business, that it is on the back of, no other way for me to say this, integrity. So let's just make sure we are handling our business on the back end. Now, to go into how you are going to just market this business and not lose that job, the first thing I think that will be the easiest for you to do may be uncomfortable, but the easiest is utilizing your personal network. So I'm sure there are friends that you may have, family members, old colleagues or current colleagues, which I'll probably stay away from the current ones, but whoever that may be interested in the services that you offer. So I will always start with those personal connections that I have. And when you do, don't just tell them, hey, I'm starting a business and this is the name of my business, or I'm starting a business and this is what I do. Let them know the value that you are providing in this business. So that may look something like, hey, I'm helping people go from this to this, or hey, I am taking you from here to here, or I provide you with this to change your life, whatever it may be. Tell them the value that you provide and start with them first. And don't be afraid to ask for referrals, guys. Like, I don't know what's up with people not really want to promote their business, but ask for referrals. I'll be transparent with y'all. In the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, I did not ask for referrals. Now I have gotten to the place where if we are talking about my business and I am talking about what I do, at the end of that conversation, I am going to say, hey, if you know anyone who may be interested in my services, definitely send them my contact information or send them my way or something on the lines of that, just to let people know that, hey, it is okay to refer someone to my business. That is very important. And I want you probably in your mind is like, well, if they come across somebody who need it, they're going to tell them. That is not always the case. You may be on the front of their mind for them, but you may not be on the front of their mind for someone else. So if we just add that little buzz in their ear, put it back there in that subconscious mind just a little bit, it'll be something that they'll remember. And some people may remember without you telling them, but your chances increase when you ask for that referral. So ask people, ask your colleagues, ask your friends, your family. If you know someone that's interested, ask them for that referral. And that's something you do not have to do on social media. That's something your employer does not have to know about. Start with your personal network. Now, if we're getting into social media, one of the biggest things I'm going to tell you to do is schedule your post out. Because the last thing you want to do is to be at work trying to put your reels and your posts together. Schedule that stuff out in advance. If you need to take a couple hours on a weekend to get that done for the week, do it. You can use websites like Later, Hootsuite, Planoly, I believe. Any of those sites will allow you to be able to schedule your post out in advance. I would highly recommend. Oh, come on, girl, what you trying to say? I would highly recommend scheduling those posts out. That way, while you're promoting your business on social media, it's not something you're doing on your corporate time. Now, the other piece to social media, let's just say, and I want to give you scenarios so that you fully understand what I'm saying. So let's just say that you are on LinkedIn, you know your job is on LinkedIn, you know they probably know where your LinkedIn is, but your clientele, your target market is not on LinkedIn. They're on Instagram. They're on an entirely different platform. Promote that business on that platform wholeheartedly. Go in on that platform. Do not make your page private. Do not make your page private. If you feel more comfortable creating a business page that doesn't have your name or contact information in the bio or anything like that, I understand that. But I do want to tell you, when you add the personal aspect of yourself to your business, it does allow for people to resonate with you a lot more, and people are a little bit more comfortable to do business with someone that's a human as opposed to someone who's a logo. So I'm just throwing it out there. So what I will say for that second scenario, you find that you're on LinkedIn, your people are on LinkedIn, and you need to promote on LinkedIn, but you really don't want to. And you are currently doing what the business you're trying to create, or the business that you're trying to create is exactly what you're doing in corporate. Provide the value in your content. Your job cannot fire you for providing value and showing your expertise. So continue to do that. You may be a little different with your call to actions at the end of your post, which is completely understandable, but provide that value and get people in your DMs. So let's just say you got people who are commenting and they're totally agreeing with you. Hit them up in the DMs. Start a conversation in the DMs. You never know where that may lead to. Again, that may lead to either a client or someone knowing someone who needs your services. So you don't always have to put in your call to action, hey, if you want to work with me further, click the link in my bio. Like, you don't have to do stuff like that. But what you can do, if you still want to add a call to action, which I recommend, have people, hey, if you agree, if you understand, if you like this content, comment this, DM this. There's a way to go about doing it to where you're not necessarily selling yourself and your content to where if your employer seeing it, they're like, I know this girl not trying to make no extra money. You don't want to make anyone feel like you're going around and stepping on their toes or anything like that. So like I said, you can promote it, provide the content. You can't get in trouble for being an expert in what you do, but lead people in your DMs. That way it's a little more discreet and your employer isn't able to tell exactly what's going on, if that makes sense. Now, the next thing I want to tell you is, and I should not have to say this, but I do. Do not use your company resources or branding for that matter. Hop up off of their Wi-Fi if you are doing stuff on your phone. Don't be printing out stuff for your business at your job. Like, I don't even know why I have to say that, but I do. Do not print out your business related documents at your job. That is not okay. To be quite frank, that's really disrespectful. And coming from someone who has a team and also someone who can monitor what my team is doing, I get offended when I see them on my clock that I'm paying for the hour and they're working on someone else's business. Whether it's theirs or anyone else. I don't even know whose business it is. I just know it's not mine. That's very offensive. Extremely offensive. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is not a good look. Now, if you find yourself and it's like a huge conflict of interest, and really and truly, you really don't want it to be a conflict of interest, one thing that you can do is choose a different niche, industry, or even a different location. Now, you may be like, well, how do I do that? It's quite easy. If the current job you're working at, if they are only working with people in the South, work with people in the North. Like, choose a different location. If you could choose all three, that's great. One or two, that's cool too. If you can only choose one, choose at least that one so that you can try to reduce the amount of conflict of interest that you have with your corporate job. Because like I said, it's all about integrity. You want to uphold a high standard and a high morale in your business, especially starting out. That's very important to me. I think that when you are launching this business, that should be something that be on the front of your dome. All right, so the next thing that you guys can do, which will be my all-time favorite, which I think will work the best for you all, is attend industry events. So when I say this, I mean conferences, summits, even there's an app called Meetup. Go to different events where you can meet people who could be possible customers or clients, or even people that you can collaborate with later on. That is a huge way to market your business without having to ever put it on social media and let anyone know. Don't nobody have an ankle bracelet on you. They are not tracking what you are doing on your off time. Go to some industry events. Get yourself out there. This is the best way to increase awareness in your business, you as an expert, and what you are trying to do. Even if you're out there letting people know, like, hey, I'm just starting out, I'm trying to build up my network. That is okay. That is normal. And this, again, is a way that you can promote your business and no one will ever know. I mean, I will say this, get a little content. That's a perfect way to use it on social media. Even if you don't plan on posting it right then and there or posting it within a couple of months, stack that content up. So definitely record what's going on. That way people, when you are ready to promote on social media, they can see that you are making moves in the industry that you are trying to get into. These are all things that I know can help you to build your business and market your business while you are still working your corporate job. Now, if you are going to make excuses on every single thing that I just told you as to why that will not work, this content not even for you. Matter of fact, this channel may not be for you, because here, what we do, we execute. Everything that I just told you, I've executed on at least multiple times. So if you're ready to truly start your business while working your corporate job, pick one of the 5 that I just gave you and execute on it. Give it a shot. If one doesn't work one time, so what? Keep trying it. If you're like, okay, I feel more comfortable doing this, cool, double down on it. But the least you can do for yourself and your business and the clients who may need you in the future is give it a shot. So I want you to tell me in the comments which one you're leaning more towards, which one you think resonates with you a little bit more. And then if you feel like you need more, let me know in the comments so that I can give you more of what you need. If you enjoyed this content, definitely, if you got value from it, of course, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.